It's time for Mr. Fundamental!
Presented by no one.
First off, I apologize for the inconsistent uploads, but I'm trying to juggle this and exam revision, so please just bear with me for a bit. The Houston Rockets have went 7-3 since they went all in with small ball by trading away Clint Capella. Despite their hot stretch, there are still some questions and wrinkles to work out, so let's hop into it. Getting the obvious stuff out of the way first. With their small ball 5-out lineup, any drives will suck into defense, leaving a capable shooter wide open. Rim protectors tend to gravitate into the paint. This time is Dwight Howard. An easy pass to the corner leads to an open 3-ball. Same thing here. Harden commands plenty of double teams. Gobert gravitates to the paint, so they hit Tucker for the corner 3. This brings us to Westbrook. He's been the biggest beneficiary in the Rockets' small ball movement. Ever since Capella played his last game, Westbrook has been averaging 33, 7, and 6, while shooting over 53% from the field. He's cut down on his 3-point attempts and constantly attacking the paint. With all 4 off-ball defenders out of the paint, Westbrook can attack the rim before the help comes. You can also see how Westbrook now starts his attack closer to the basket, usually in the mid-range area, where one dribble can get him a close shot attempt. Even playing off-ball, he's not settling for a 3. It didn't create an opening, but he starts his attack at the elbow, collapses the defense, and finds the open man. Teams have tried to put their bigs on Westbrook. AD is practically daring Westbrook to shoot, but after getting Dwight on the switch, he pulls up for the mid-range jumper, where he's shooting above 41%. It took some time for Westbrook to adjust to the length, and it was very evident in the first game against the Lakers. When Tucker drives, Westbrook is basically playing as the big. He doesn't force it up against the length of Green and AD, but when he does take it back out, they have 6 seconds left on the clock to attack. Defenders will sag back on Westbrook, since his main goal is attacking the rim. McGee is giving him this much space, and even though Westbrook got to the rim, it's hard to score over the length of a center who can stay in the paint. Westbrook has a favorable matchup against Kuzma, but his length forces the kick out. The offense stagnates, and look at this poor spacing. Looking back at this again, there's another adjustment for small ball. The defense won't help off the corner, and even if LeBron or Rondo helped on the drive, Westbrook has to twist his entire body to hit the open man out on top. The Lakers double Harden, and Westbrook attacks before he even receives the ball. It collapses the defense, but the corner shooters aren't open. Covington is on the wing, but again, Westbrook has to twist his whole body to throw the pass and turns it over. In the past few games, Westbrook has adjusted by taking off deeper in the paint. Instead of taking off here for an acrobatic finish, he takes an extra dribble with better balance and fires a bullet to the open man. As a team, there's another solution, but I'll get to that in a bit. Harden hasn't had the same surge as Westbrook. He's putting up the same numbers, but with better efficiency while taking a back seat. After forcing a switch, teams are eager to get the ball out of his hands. Westbrook attacks off the catch, and check out how all 3 shooters are in front of him, making it an easier pass compared to before. The defense traps Harden near half court, but he hits the roller early. While the Lakers are happy to see Westbrook take a 3, this could easily have been a cut as well. These possessions won't show up on the box score, but Harden's gravity bends the defense and generates open looks. This translates to being off ball as well. I made a video on this last offseason, so check it out if you want a more detailed analysis. Links in the description. In short, defenders will face guard Harden even at half court. This basically turns this into a 4-on-4 basketball, with less off-ball defenders to rotate down. With an extra shooter instead of Capella at the block, Westbrook is shooting one of his highest percentages within the restricted area. Moving on to the Rockets' best formation. After the switch, Harden isolates on the wing with 3 shooters on the weak side and Tucker in the corner. The best way of stopping a drive to his left is either Smart or Brown helps and give up a quick above the break 3, but that didn't happen, leading to a basket. On the other hand, a drive to the left sucks in Tucker's defender, usually a center, leading to a corner 3. Although defenders guard Westbrook differently, having 2 shooters on both sides and letting Westbrook attack from the middle doesn't maximize his options. Getting him attacking from the wing or elbow would be better. He had an open shooter in the corner here, but uses the rim to fend off the shot blocker. The main flaw for the Rockets' offense is players' comfort zone. The Rockets had the ideal spacing with 3 shooters on one side and 1 more on the other. Now Tucker is an amazing corner 3 shooter, but below average above the break. House is a good shooter all around, but corner 3s are the easiest ones. Rockets will want Westbrook in the corner, both as a shooter and a cutter. The problem is, there's only 2 corners on the court. Harden makes things worse by being too far to the right, pushing 3 shooters into 1 corner. The spacing is off when they double Harden, but they got bailed out. Tucker is usually the screener, being the Rockets' center, but pick and pop usually generates above the break 3s. where he's shooting just 26%. Without a true center, perimeter players aren't used to setting screens. Here, Westbrook lowers his shoulder and gets called for the offensive foul. Tucker and Covington ends up in the same corner. They try to set a back screen, but there's no chance of getting an opening, and Tice ends up covering 2 players, allowing Tatum to help on the drive. This time, Harden screens for Westbrook, but Harden just stands there afterwards, not rolling or popping, just getting in the way of Westbrook. The Suns double Harden, but with Rivers as screener, he doesn't slip into open space and pops instead. Harden gets stuck in the corner without his dribble and turns it over. Even if the screener slips into open space, the Rockets don't have many shot creators. When Tucker turns down the corner 3, the chances of him scoring drops dramatically after he puts the ball on the floor. This possession says it all. Check out how Westbrook tells Tucker to get out of the corner. Then they balance the floor to get the optimum spacing, but Tucker is now on the wing. All this along with Harden's ISO cuts into the shot clock. Then a hard closeout forces Covington to create without any time left. With more practice and chemistry, players could get more comfortable playing these roles, especially as rollers, to add more wrinkles to the offense. On the other end of the floor, they're switching everything and forcing players to generate looks on their own. They switch the first pin down, then Tucker almost blows the switch, but it works out since they force Kuzma into a step back 3. The Jazz run a lot of handoffs and screen and rolls, but all the switching prevents any openings. The only advantage they have is Gobert's height, but he's not a natural post scorer. They have good post defenders, but the lack of height could be hard to overcome, especially against decent post scorers. After AD receives the pass, a quick move gets him to the basket, and Rivers was ineffective as a help defender. While switch defense can keep the ball in front and be in help position, there's no zoning up lob passes, and Gobert just needs to lay it in. Tucker doubles when AD gets the ball in the post. Even if Gordon rotates early, he wasn't gonna stop this alley-oop. Offensive boards are a serious issue, and they're the 3rd worst rebounding team ever since Capella's last game, which translates to giving up the 5th most second chance points in the league. This was on full display against the Knicks the other day, giving up 20 offensive rebounds. With all the switching, they're prone to backdoor cuts as well, and Kuzma benefits here. After losing to the Warriors so many times, you'd think they would have figured out how to stop the low post split. The Rockets' offense relies on Harden and Westbrook's brilliant shot creation, and attacking the defensive weak link. That same strategy could beat their switching schemes as well. All the openings in the Jazz offense was closed because of all the switching. Conley is having his worst offensive season, but a crafty move gets him past Cephalosha, sucks in the defense, and dumps it off for the bucket. Again, all their switching gets Gordon onto LeBron. Tucker now shadows Gordon because of the mismatch, and they give up an open 3-ball. There are still a lot of kinks to work out for the Houston Rockets, but they still went 7-3 with room to improve. One of the biggest change I would make is getting Harden to drive more. Even with the paint wide open now, Harden is averaging less drives than when Capella was still on the team, which lessens the effect of a 5-out. Anyhow, their offense is built for the playoffs, but defensively, there are plenty of big lineups and good shot creators in the Western Conference. My biggest worry for them is not having a decent big man as an insurance plan, if their threes aren't falling or their role players can't adjust to being rollers. The Rockets are a wild card in the playoffs, and I'm very curious to see how far the Rockets can go with their small ball team this year. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please give a like rating down below, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.